How can a Burmese python lead to treatments for digestive diseases? Find out next. Many people fear these slithering creatures, but Dr. Stephen Secor says they may provide answers to digestion issues. As a professor at the University of Alabama, he has studied the physiology of the Burmese python in comparison to the human body.
During periods of fasting, they literally shut down their intestinal tract.
This means the Burmese python can regulate functions of the intestine. During periods of feeding, the digestional tract grows, while during periods of fasting, it becomes smaller. Secor pointed out, if we can mimic the pythons, we can trigger a growth response or increase function in the intestines for those with digestion diseases, such as Crohn's disease, acid reflux, cancer, and even diabetes.
If you find out how they shut down their digestive system, you can figure out what molecules they use to do that, and you could possibly turn that into a medicine.
In a recent study, Secor discovered if you take blood from a digesting snake and apply that to human beta cells, those cells increase in size and increase in insulin production.
Already, we can show that there's something circulating in the python blood increases the performance of human beta cells to produce insulin and deal with reducing blood glucose.
Secor has worked with pythons for 23 years. Now that technology is at a high point, he can now look at all the genes that are expressed differently at one time.
We think that there's some sort of systemic signal, and it could be a molecule, it could be a protein, it could be potentially some small lipid molecule that is traveling around at the time after the animals eat, that then is stimulating these tissues to respond.
Secor believes the next step is to find the tie between the proteins to explain the steps from the time they eat to the time they digest. Until then, Dr. Secor will continue his hunt for the trigger and hope they can add some glory to these unique, beautiful creatures. For the University of Alabama, I'm Ricky Shaheed.